All right, Panther fans. So for our next trick, we're going to allow a 5-goal lead and come back.
Hey, wait.
And
First of all, we actually made it to doing this video.
Yeah. This one has been Stu had an interesting night, but I'm not going to let you tell. I don't think he's going to tell that story either. So long story short, Stu's got his victory cigar.
And I got three layers of clothing on because it's 45 degrees here in beautiful downtown Delray Beach.
Right? He forgot where he had such an interesting night. He forgot where he lived for a second. That's like the old days when you wake up and you don't know where the hell you are. So I never doubted it for a second. I was just waiting. I just sat there waiting. And sure enough, oh, look, they turned it on. There's the tie. And once overtime came, these guys just have so much confidence. And you can kind of see it, especially in overtime, like Barkov and Huberdeau, Lundell to an extent too.
And Bennett.
And Duclair. You can kind of see it where they're just kind of like, they ain't nobody going to hang with us.
We got this.
You can see it. You can see it.
They're definitely running on just confidence waves now. Right. I just, it really just irks the crap out of me. All the Twitter posts that I see of these fickle fans that, we get down 2-0 or 3-1, whatever. And then, the sky's falling down, or we lose a couple of games and, oh, woe is me. Get rid of Burnett. He's the worst coach. I mean, right. It's just ridiculous that, obviously you're going to have fair weather fans, fickle fans, whatever. Listen, the diehard fans, we know what this team's about.
Yeah, we know what this is.
We lead the league in third period comebacks.
Right.
We lead the league at wins at home. We just completed another 9-game winning streak.
Yeah. They said
we are the first team since the 95-96 Detroit Red Wings to have 2 9-game winning streaks at home.
Right. Yeah. No, that's and
look, we're not done.
No.
Hopefully Seattle doesn't come back.
No, geez, I think we only get them the home and home.
Yeah, we're done. That was a joke. We're done.
Yeah, no, we're done. We're done enough with Seattle. But it was really kind of an odd game because we weren't really playing like it wasn't like the night before where we came out last and we were physical and everything like that. There's a couple of goals in the first period. The second one, Bobrovsky was just completely screened on. And then that first one, did you see the same thing I saw with Uyghur? He just stood there.
Yeah, nobody went after the guy.
Right.
They let him walk in, and he could have given Bob a kiss on the lips.
Yeah, right. Right. So that I don't understand that at all, because that's not typically Uyghur's style. He makes his mistakes, but that's generally not one of them. So that was kind of unusual. And then the move, and this is kind of getting to where a little bit what I've talked about that possible with the one winger, where he took Tippett and moved him down, put Huberdeau back up on that top line, right? And especially if Tippett ends up with a trade, it seems like we just can't have like 3 or 4 games with the top line that's set, and those are the guys. It's the weirdest thing. It's just like no matter who we put up there, we end up switching things around.
I don't know what the answer to that is. I only wish Tippett had been, had come through for us and was a productive member of that line. Listen, when all else fails, put Huberdeau and Barkov together, and you got magic.
Yeah.
It just, you're seeing in my opinion, the best player in the league right now is Jonathan Huberdeau.
Yeah.
That kid is riding like such a wave of enthusiasm, confidence. I'm not saying he's carrying the team on his back, because there's 5 or 6 other key players.
Right.
But let's just say you could just I mean, all you do is
Yeah.
just watch the post game. I mean, the post goal celebration,
Right.
and see the smile on his face
Yeah.
and what he's. I'd like to see or hear. I'd like to see them mic him up. And
Mic
then
him
once,
up, right.
have them score like 5 or 6 goals and him getting, a goal or 2 or 3 assists and just hear what comes out of his mouth. But
yeah,
that was great.
I
mean, the goal that he scored to tie it was fantastic. And then obviously the overtime. I mean, I saw that happening. It's just a really, I don't know what it is that I can kind of, see things happening before they happen.
Right.
But I saw Barkov stop, Forsling had it, and I could see Barkov stop, and then instead of staying in the play, he went off, and Bennett came on, and nobody picked Bennett up. He just
No, I mean, all three Sharks were standing right there.
They were puck watching.
I know.
Bennett he just glided in nice and slow, and boom, boom. Next thing you know,
I know.
In the net.
I know. Even Reimer was puck watching. It was something to see. It really was. When you watched it on the replay, and you're just like, the entire team. I know it's 3-on-3, but still, the entire team was right there, and somehow he threads this perfect pass, and boom.
That's Huberdeau.
Yeah,
that's Huberdeau. Perfect pass.
Yeah. It's incredible.
He had one to I forget what period it was, but he had a perfect pass to.
I don't know.
Was it for Hagee?
It might have been, yeah, because
I don't know.
They were
I think
together.
Reimer made the save, but it's just again, he's the best playmaker, without a doubt, the best passer in the league, without a doubt.
Right.
Somebody comment and tell me one other player that's a better passer, that has better vision or whatever it is that he has, where he makes basically the perfect pass, whether it's a spinorama or a saucer. He's incredible.
Yeah.
And the kid's definitely going to get, I mean, what has he got next? 60, 65, 67 points, something like that?
Something crazy, yeah. Yeah.
He's going to hit 100.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And we're we're on a pace to get 120 something points. It's ridiculous.
I know. But
I mean, unless we have a major collapse, which I don't really see happening.
Right.
I mean, what did we do? We lost 3 in a row. That's been when the sky was falling. Yeah. I mean, we really have a chance to win the President's Trophy. I don't really want us to, but it would be nice.
Yeah. Well, when
usually President Trophy winners usually don't
don't
end up getting the big prize.
All I care about is home ice. So if somebody from the Western Conference wins the Presidents, then they need to get eliminated. That's all. That's all I care about.
My prediction of Colorado Panthers is starting to, it's starting to warm up a little bit. I could see that.
Right. Yeah. And
listen, all roads still go through Tampa.
Yeah.
After the Panther game was over, I switched over and watched Tampa Vegas, and Vegas was up 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
7 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third. Yeah. It's like Tampa woke up, like we wake up.
Yeah, it's like if we were down that, we would not be worried yet.
They got a goal, and a few minutes later they got another one.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I know Cooper pulled. He pulled Vasilevsky was 3 minutes 53 seconds, I think.
Yes.
He pulled him.
Right. Yes.
I mean, that's an early pull.
Yeah.
It's 2-1. And
right.
Of course, they scored. They tied the game. I really thought they were going to win in overtime. So it sucks that they ended up getting a point. But you know what? We could have lost also. So
yeah, I'm sure
Toronto did the same thing. So
I'm sure they were looking at our score when it was 4-2, and they thought, "Oh, okay, good. We're gonna catch up on them." You know what I mean? It's back and forth the same way. The only other thing really noticeable from last night. Last night was the first game that I wasn't really thrilled with Carlson.
I know you mentioned that on your recap. Like you said, he really didn't do anything drastic, but he didn't do anything to stand out.
Right. There might have been one play. There was one play, I think. It was one of the goals where he kind of got lost in no man's land in front of Bob, and he kind of wasn't sure which way to go. I think it was the one, him and Huberto kind of got their signals crossed a little bit. So maybe I'm being a little bit too hard on them, but that's the name of the game. But other than that, now did somebody on Twitter, I haven't checked, but somebody had said something that Duclair was out. Did something
benched or whatever. I didn't see anything. I mean, I was looking for Lundell for the longest period of time in the third.
Yeah,
I thought something happened to him. I don't know. Listen, Brunette's doing what he's doing, and
right.
it's working. So,
I don't know if they shortened the bench or what happened. At one point I did see actually, there was an entire shift where Lundell was centering the fourth line. At least those are the guys that were on the ice, was Lomberg, and Joe and Lundell. So who knows, how that ended up, but it was good, 30 seconds they were on the ice together. But, and then Bobrovsky did what he did. He gave up one extra one, but, then he made some really key saves after he gave up the fourth one.
that fourth one, by the way, did you see the replay was right, the camera angle was right behind Darlene.
Right.
And did you see him whiz it all at the top?
Yeah.
Corner?
And
you see Bobrovsky was down. See, most of these goalies, they, like when the plays happen and they go down, Vasilevsky does the same thing.
Right.
And they're vulnerable up top. I mean, that kid hit a space this big.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
Right under the bar.
Right.
Impossible to stop.
No. There's just nothing any goaltender is going to do, but you just can't humanly move that quickly in that direction. It's just, you just can't, you could throw your stick in the air and they got a better chance of hitting it than moving your arm all the way up there that fast. It was a bullet. So
when I watch the NHL Network, they're on the fly, which has, the replays of all the games. A majority of the goals scored in the league are up top shelf.
Up top, right? Yeah, it's 5-hole or top shelf. If you can make the move to get them to open up their legs, otherwise, you're exactly right. It's top
just
shelf.
Amazing how they pinpoint accuracy. How that's why you got a lot of shots that go over the net, because they're missing by inches. But when they hit that spot, it's just incredible how many perfect shots.
Right.
That was a perfect shot.
Right. And like we've talked about, you don't really realize it if you've only watched it on TV. You don't really realize how small that net is. You think, oh man, there was plenty of room. But then when you get on the ice and you're like, that's it, that's the net. How does it ever go in?
Wait, add the factor of 6'2", 6'4" goalies.
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah. No, it's like a giant blocking a refrigerator. It's like, how the hell did you get past them?
The players have so much skill. And don't forget, again, we don't see how many hundreds, thousands of pucks they shoot in practice.
Yeah. Well, don't let Tortorella hear you about their skill. He's getting pissy about that.
In the meantime, some observations on the defense.
Sure.
I want to see Ekblad start scoring some more. Where's his goals? He's been stuck on 10 for weeks now.
Yeah.
Forsling, my boy, came through again last night.
Yeah, that was a big goal.
See that point that you made about Uyghur, like Uyghur's he's gotta like be 120% sure or something when to make that move.
Yeah.
In the O zone instead of staying back and playing D, because he does it like almost every play. He tries to be in the scoring mix. Ekblad does the same thing, but you notice Forsling, most of the time he'll get to the blue line and he'll shoot it in.
Yeah.
If he has a window, he'll carry it in. What you saw last night was, the guys were moving it around and he saw an opportunity to skate in that little slot area.
Right.
And he did that against Tampa in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
If you remember, the same type of goal.
Yeah.
Where he came in from the point. So, that's how smart he is, that, he basically picks his spots.
He picks his spots. Exactly. Yeah. No, you don't see him trying to stick handle around the net.
But I'm like wondering, when is Ekblad going to start scoring? I mean, I think we had what, one power play last night?
That sounds about
I know
right.
we didn't score,
That sounds about right.
but
Yeah,
I noticed that in the last few games we've been scoring power play goals. It hasn't been Ekblad. He's been now. I don't know. Obviously, there's no camera on him, in to shoot in front of him. What
right,
he's
right,
seeing,
right,
and the fact that maybe he's not taking the shots because he thinks they're going to be blocked. But
right.
I haven't seen too many Ekblasts. Have
Yeah,
you?
no. He did have one that I think led to a goal a few games ago. Because it was, you texted me thinking it was going to be time for Ekblast, and then I believe he had one of those shots and it got rebounded, and then it went in the back of the net. I believe I remember that.
He just seems to be dishing it off to Huberdeau.
And yeah, that's what I was going to
Huberdeau's really
say.
the quarterback of the power play now.
Right. He does seem to be dishing it off to Huberdeau more, and I'm good with that. I'm good. I'm good with that. The way Huberdeau's playing right now, he is just out of his mind, man. I think Barkov is just watching him, going, "Man, I wish I could be that good." Give me some of that, Johnny. He's
Well, you are one that called it when it came down to like who's the best player on the team.
right.
And most people would say Barkov, but you said when Huberdeau's on his game, he's the best player on the team.
Yep, I had a feeling. He just you could see it. When he gets that, he's got that extra gear. You know what I mean? He's just got that extra gear. Whatever is mad, pissed off, whatever edge that is, he's just got that one little extra gear.
No, what it is the team needs me to be a leader right now and to get this game tied up, no matter, or we need to get the winning goal. No matter how it's done, I got to make it happen, and he makes it happen.
Yeah. And we've seen it in the 2 playoff series. The kid wants to win. He is so sick of losing playoff series. Okay, and believe me, come playoff time. Yeah, exactly.
I've had enough of seeing him do that.
Right. For a professional athlete, knowing they're going to be on camera, to be in that shape to where they don't care and they just have to show that emotion in that moment, you can only imagine what's going on inside. And if he has to put the puck in his jersey and carry it across the goal line in the playoffs, he probably will. he's gonna play with a couple extra pucks just in case something happens. Like, no, it didn't go over the boards. Look, it's in the net. I mean,
the best clip of the night, and I'm sure you caught it. I mean, I watched it so many times. Did you see the Barkov fist pump?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's trying.
When have you ever seen it? I mean, can you count on your fingers how many times you've seen Barkov do something other than just raise his stick and smile?
Right. No,
that was great.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's catching on.
Listen,
really
they're having a blast. The crowd, there was over 18,000 last night.
Right?
So that's what, 94% capacity. I'm telling you, I don't think until the playoffs, we're not going to fill that building. It's 20,000 people.
Yeah, somebody on the stream says 20,077 is an actual sellout. I don't know.
We've sold it out before.
It depends. Like we've got that one game against Tampa. I think that's at home. Later on in the season, I believe it's the
last game of the year.
Is it the last game of the year?
Yeah, I have tickets for that.
That's the only time. That's really when it is. We end the year in back-to-backs, because I know the next time we play. No, that back-to-back that was in December. There you go. Your old brain is remembering better than my old brain this morning.
You'll see in the last month, things are picking up now, and more and more people are.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they got to be the most entertaining team to watch, because almost every game it's 5-6 goals.
Right. I know.
I mean, Jamie Hirsch last night, and again, the Panthers have been the first game they review.
Right.
For I don't even know, for like the last month or two.
Right.
It's like every game, the first game the NHL reviews is a Panthers game.
Right.
And she said about that record that they just tied, the nine game winning streak,
Yeah.
the second one of the year. And in those 9 games, the Panthers have averaged 6 goals a game. Crazy.
That's insane.
And it said we had a 29.7 power play percentage.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that we were doing all that winning while the power play was really struggling. And we kind of haven't really talked about it enough because we both said, man, it's really going to be scary good if that power play ever starts to work. And sure enough, as soon as the power play even just started to work a little bit.
Since they put Duclair up there.
Yeah, since they put Duclair up there. Yeah. Yeah, I saw. We did have a power play last night. I remember because I remember on the second unit, Joe was out there.
Right. And now the other thing that the observation I made about that is if you notice, and we talked about it so much about how they kept the first unit out there too long.
Right.
Changing it up with a minute left.
Yeah. Well, they watch our videos, they take notes, they're making it. Come on, this is like dozens of things now. It's going past coincidence now. I can laugh, but look, either we're psychic or somebody's. I mean, it's more likely we're psychic. We're predicting the future. If you guys want to know about the economy, that's just PayPal us. What do you think? $50 and we'll do a video about what's going to happen with the economy.
And we've been, you know, I'm telling you, what we need to do is one of these days, like you do your live stream, we need to have a live one of these.
Right.
And invite everybody on and get super chats and people donating money and whatnot, whatever. And
right.
Just involve the people that watch these videos on a regular basis. Get them involved in the conversation that we're having.
Yeah,
I know you could do it. You said you got the software, so
yeah. I'm learning it.
I can't. I don't want to do it on a live stream of a game because I listen when I'm watching the game. Other than texting with you, I don't take calls. No matter.
Right.
I'm so focused. I don't want to be bothered by the outside world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be fun to do, one of these things with, live audience, so to speak, audience participation.
Yeah.
Answer questions and stuff.
I've seen people do that. And yeah.
Anyway,
that's on that definitely is in the brain to figure out how to do here as we get closer to the playoffs. Like you said, I put the software. I got the OBS software. I've used it a couple times. I'm going to use it again today, and I've just been making a point. Because the problem with me learning programs is if I stare at the screen for too long and I'm toast. So I've just been making it a point to just learn one new thing each day. Spend 20 minutes. I learn the one thing, and then I got that.
Well, you got when are the games this week? Monday and Tuesday.
We got Monday and Tuesday. Yeah.
Well, let's maybe do it for the Ranger game.
That's not because let's do it after we come back. Because the Ranger game is going to be screwy for people because that's one of those ESPN Plus games.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah,
right.
So we're all gonna,
yeah.
That's going to be screwy for people. So
let's talk about the two games coming up and the thought process I get with, and I don't think Burnett made that decision by himself. I think Tallis, Luongo, I think that whole goaltending team was involved.
Right.
I don't think it's a bad idea that they sent him down.
Right.
I definitely don't look at it as a demotion.
Right.
I think that, they had some foresight knowing that we weren't going to be playing for a couple of weeks.
Right.
And let's face it, Knight really hasn't gotten a lot of action this year.
Right.
Bob's just been, again, doing his thing every night, but it's good that he's going to get in some games. But you brought something up yesterday. I don't know if it was in the recap or whatnot. If Bob goes both games.
Right.
Now, one way to look at it is, you're right. If he has an easy game against Columbus, which I doubt, then he's, a little fresher for the next night. But then you have travel.
Right.
From Columbus to New York, which, maybe it's a couple hour plane ride, whatever. I don't know what time they'll get in, but after the Ranger game, you got a couple of week break.
Right.
I think the next game's on the 16th. So
Yeah.
it's not that Bobrovsky couldn't do it. I'm just dreading them putting in this Johansson guy who I know nothing about.
Right. Yeah.
And against the Ranger team that is, let's face it, they have the offense like we have. I've seen them turn it on in a snap of a finger. So
right.
I think the only reason we should have that kid as a backup is, God forbid, a million times that Bob goes down.
Right.
Other than that, he should just be, basically wearing his Panther hat, sitting in the corner, and congratulating Bob after the
exactly.
game is over.
Right. Well, yeah, obviously I said it that, yeah, Spencer going down, getting the games good. That's good. He needs the time. But boy, I really would have wished they could have just waited the extra few days, because, New York's one of those teams, like
Listen,
you said,
nothing says they can't bring him up for that game, right?
Well, the problem,
Theoretically.
what I read, I mean, they can bring him up, but then you got to move somebody else. It's about roster space, and the fact that if we send Johansson down, he's not waiver exempt, so somebody could pick him up. But with Spencer, he is. So, and because we were bringing up, who did they say they were going to take off of IR? Somebody was coming off of IR. I don't know if it was Achari or Hornquist. They were going to bring somebody off of IR, and so they needed the space. They needed to send somebody, so they sent Knight and Heponiemi down. I guess they want to get Knight the games, but I'm curious as to why they couldn't have put him on the taxi squad until after we know about the Ranger game, and then send them down. It's like you said, we're not privy to all the information and everything, and maybe Bobrovsky has just said, don't worry about it, I got it, I can go back to back.
How many times has Vasilevsky played back to backs?
Well, and that's the thing, I thought about it when I said it in the stream last night. I said that's got to be the plan, because it's one thing we don't know anything about Johansson, etc. But when's the last time that guy was on the ice? And we're going to send him out there on the road against the Rangers? No. There's no way. Once I thought about it that way, I said they're just giving both games to Bob. There's just no way they're going to put that kid. He hasn't been on the ice for how long? Not since we've had him.
Well, I hope we're not. I hope we're not wrong about what we're saying right now, because you just never know.
No, hopefully something happens to make me look bad for that opinion, and then I'm good with that. I'm good.
Listen, I'm with you on that, but
yeah,
if we take care of business and defense, like you said, if the defense does their thing and limits Columbus to 20 shots, which is possible, I doubt it, but 25 shots, and they're not difficult.
Yeah,
where Bob's huffing and puffing because there's been a lot of action going on.
Right.
We don't want to see those situations where Columbus is just keeping it in the zone and cycling it around, and everybody's getting tired. So,
and it's not just back to back for Bob. It's 3 games in 4 nights.
True.
You know what I mean? And last night was not an easy game for him either. So I don't know, man. Maybe they told him they're going to play Johansson against Columbus. I don't know. I'm sure they know.
Nothing says they have to play Bob against Columbus, even though normally, you play against your former team because you know the players and their tendencies.
Right.
But it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Well, it'll be exactly.
So let's go back a little bit, reverse the tapes, and talk about the power play. So I want to know what happens when Hornquist comes off the IR.
Right.
And does Brunette take Duclair off and put Hornquist back? In my mind, again, the watch is ticking and it's working, and don't tinker with it.
Right.
I don't know where Hornquist fits in unless he goes back on the Lundberg Luosterainen line.
Yeah, Hornquist will go back there.
And what do you do with Achari? See, this is what
yeah,
I'm
right,
saying.
right,
There's
right.
no room. Achari's been out the whole year.
Right.
I don't know where does he fit? As
Well,
as great
you know,
as he is in the locker room and whatnot, and
you,
he's a good player and whatnot,
right.
but
Well, knowing,
it's a sad thing for him that, you
yeah,
know, here he is, he's played he's played his heart out for us the last few years, and
right,
now we're on the cusp of something great, and he's not part of it. I mean, mentally, he's got to be thinking to himself, you
right.
know, I want to be out there, with the boys, being part
Well,
of what's going on right now. I mean, what's going on right now is something special.
right, right. No,
Any Panther fan that's been around as long as you and I have and other people have, we all know that this what's happening now is something special. The fact
right.
that we go into every game thinking we're gonna just blow
Yeah,
the other team away.
right.
I mean, when was the last time that we had this attitude?
Yeah, no, never, never, never. I mean, anytime
And
even,
we might have thought it,
yeah, a
but
game
the
here or
reality
there.
is it's happening.
Right, right, yeah. The question about Achari, I don't know. I mean, it's happened before, and we did kind of open up. We're talking about we've not had anybody consistent on that top line with Barkov and Verhage. I mean,
Do you put him back right in the middle of the fire?
I don't know. You give him a couple of
Coming off,
games, but I mean,
what? How long has he been out? 6 months?
let's see. He got hurt preseason, right? So hurt, yeah. I mean, what's October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, 6 by the time he would play again, right?
That's a
I'm not
long
saying game
time.
one. I'm not saying game one, but if you're looking to have him, you know, fit in somewhere, there's no room at center. There's no room at center. Let's just put it that way. And that top line spot has been a rotation for forever. I don't know. I mean, if they've tried everybody else up there, I would be surprised if they didn't try Achari, to be honest with
You
you.
imagine getting Joel Pavelski?
Look, you know what? There was a statistic they showed. I meant to bring this up. I'm going to butcher this stat. I'm not sure if this was exactly it, but it was something to the effect of like the most points in the NHL or something like that since Christmas or since a certain time. The point of the statistic was because Huberdeau was number one, but Pavelski was either 2 or 3. And I saw his name and I was like, aha.
Well,
That's
Dan
sneaky.
did, he brought that up the other day. These players like Giordano and when he said Pavelski, I was like, wow, that would be
Right.
pretty. Pavelski is probably the best deflection guy in the
Mm-hmm.
league.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
Right.
He finds a way to deflect pucks in the net. And again, he's playing like he's playing like Ovechkin. He's like,
Yeah, he's got like 19 goals.
he's getting it done. It's not like he's an old guy that's like,
Right.
obviously we know Joe's got his liabilities.
Right. Yeah.
And we know why he's here, but
Right.
Pavelski could be a real
No,
good
Pavel.
addition.
Yeah.
That is if we're going to slot him on the first line.
Yeah. Well,
Which I don't see any other place for him.
no, it's odd that we have this magnificent offense. And if you really think about it, that's the only real true untaken space is the top spot is, next to Barkov up there. That's been a rotation. So you just never know that way. And I guess for me, the only other thing I'd like to get your comment on, because you sent it to me this morning. So let's this guy on Twitter saying that he's got sources that the offer for Chychrun is Tippett and Spencer Knight.
Wait, our number one pick
in
2021.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I had to point out that we already picked Mackie Samovich, whatever.
Yeah, son of a bitch, right.
His name is. We don't have a pick in 2022.
Right. No, he says he says that was a typo. He says it was a 23 and Tippett and Spencer Knight. And it's just like, I guess I'm gonna have to make we're not trading Spencer Knight video, and here's why. I guess I'm gonna have to do that one too.
No, well, you answered him first, but I actually posted something last night at like 2:30 in the morning and then deleted it.
Right.
I had added also a clown, a picture of a clown going like, but I deleted it. I didn't want to start a
Yeah, you
Twitter
don't wanna
war
start
on there,
anything,
but
right.
you know, you saw my reply to you, you
Yeah.
know, about that we've already made a pick with our 2001st.
Right.
And then I said, we didn't trade Levi and Montalban.
Right. The
Okay,
trade.
we didn't trade
Right.
those two guys to trade our future number one. So it's
Right.
just ridiculous. Listen, anybody can post shit out there
I know.
and just for, you know, attention grabbing.
Right. Right. No, I know. It's just
sources. I told you, Pierre LeBron and Elliot Friedman are the only guys that I take
Right.
credence. Whatever when they post something,
yeah.
most of the time they're right on about, you know,
Yeah. Although
their sources are on the inside.
right. Although sometimes
So-
those big names get it wrong, like Adam Schefter and Brady yesterday.
True. Listen, we know that Tippett's in. We know that Tippett's in
Tippett.
any deal.
Yeah. That's a gimme. But like we've said, if they want 2 first-round picks, Tippett and Levy. You know, I mean, there's the former first-round pick, the high first-round pick.
I told you, yeah. If we're going, if Chikrin is the target, and I told you the other day, you know, the most likely scenario is Tippett, either Carlson, Levy,
Right.
Kierstead, and a second-round pick.
Yeah.
Maybe, and I'm stretching it, they would give Arizona the first pick in 2023. I don't think so.
Maybe.
Because, and if you remember Dan telling us the other day, this year's draft is weak. Next
Right.
year's draft is strong.
Right.
So, it's not like the deal has to get done. So it's like,
Right,
take it or
right.
leave it. This is what we're offering.
Yeah.
You know, that way, you know, we giving up a defenseman to replace Chikrin. So
Right.
that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Obviously.
Tippett, we know, is a scorer. It's not happening here.
Right.
But if he goes to Arizona, he could be like a top line
Yeah.
25, 30 goal guy.
Right.
He needs like Bennett. He needs a new lease on life. He needs a change of scenery. It ain't happening.
It's just the puck won't go in the net. It just even when he's working hard.
His confidence level is like so low right now.
Yeah, you can see it. I feel bad.
You can see it. It's just not. It's not happening here.
He doesn't feel like he's like everybody else is having fun. Why can't I score, man? Why can't you could just see it written on his face. He's like, I've never had this problem before. Oh wait, that's a different subject. But you know what I'm saying.
And he's had plenty of chances.
I know, and you know,
a guy with a supposed snipe shot like that should be finding the net a lot more.
He doesn't.
Okay, so
he doesn't play a game.
So I think that's the logical. See, now if that guy had posted something like that,
right?
That's a more realistic, that's a more realistic trade.
Right.
Posting either Lundell or Knight is just, it's comical.
No. I mean, if there's no.
Comical.
Yeah.
Lundell.
Right.
I'm bummed Lundell didn't get he assisted on one of the goals.
Right.
I forget which one it was, but they didn't give him the assist. He probably was the third assist, but I'm bummed that his streak came to an end last night.
Right.
His point streak, but that's okay.
Yeah, well,
Marchment, that was like so awesome. I watched that replay about 4 or 5 times, and
right,
out of that jungle of players.
Yeah, exactly. And I was worried about that one. I was worried, that they were gonna go, because when after it came up, after they scored, Reimer popped up and he was pissed off, yelling at the ref. So I thought for sure that they're gonna look at this for goalie interference. But as soon as they took the face off, I felt better, Yeah. And it's a shame that one goal was offsides.
That was blatantly offside.
Yeah.
Wasn't even close.
No, it was he was pretty offsides, unfortunately.
It just, it's just so much fun. In the past, we'd go down, 3-1, 4-2, whatever,
Yeah. And
however many minutes left, 10 minutes in the game. And maybe we'd get one goal and run out of time, or maybe we'd
we'd wait until there's like
really,
2 minutes left and turn it on.
I really think that, these guys are, they just look at each other on the bench and like, okay, time to,
right.
Trying to switch, time
Yeah.
time to rev it up and get into gear. And they get that first one. See, I've never seen a Panther team with the great white shark killer, no mercy,
right,
mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys smell blood.
Yep.
They're on the attack, and
I know.
How many times have we seen, one goal and then like a minute later or less than a minute later, they get another one.
Yep. No, it's incredible. And, must be the warm weather down there, man. We got fresher legs. You know what I mean? They're finally figuring out how to use that warm weather to their advantage. I don't know. Something's changed. Something's definitely
If we meet
changed.
Tampa, hopefully we won't in the first round.
I hope not.
If we meet Tampa, which I think we probably will end up doing, wow. Yeah. That's going to be an amazing. First of all, the teams really hate each other, and they're both alike, where they both can turn it on. It's going to be an incredible series.
I know, and that's where the depth is going to come in handy, because that's when guys are going to get, nobody's coming out of that series with a win, without a casualty or two. You know what I mean? That's going to be a rough one. So, all right, you got anything else?
No, I'd like to see us take the last two games before the break.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, it kind of needs to happen. You can't lose to Columbus. Let's just start there. And with the Rangers, I haven't looked at the standings, but I mean, that's a game where at the worst you got to go in there and get a point, and you can't let them gain 2 on you. You know what I mean? You at least got to go in there and
we didn't do so good the last game at the Garden. So I mean, the key to that that Ranger game is getting goals early on to Sturkin. Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to be in net.
Right. Yeah,
but yeah. So it'd be nice to win those 2 games. If you look at if you look at the standings, Colorado's got a few games in hand on us.
Right.
So does Carolina.
Yeah.
But, I'm like, and I think we're basically either we have one more game or Tampa. I don't know. I think Tampa's got 1 game in hand on us, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. If we just keep winning,
let's see.
Eventually, one of these other teams are going to end up losing.
Yeah, well, we say that, and then they say that. Let's see. All right, I don't need the glasses today. I can never tell if I'm going to need my glasses or not if I sit far enough away. Oh, okay. We've got 45 games played. The Lightning have the same amount of games played.
Right.
So, and we've got a 3-point lead.
Right. Colorado.
And then, let me see here. Well, I want to look at Carolina. Carolina has 4 games in hand, but we have a 5-point lead. So again, that's not a gimme on their end either. Colorado has 3 games in hand.
Right, 3 games.
And we have a 2-point lead. So, and they've won 9 in a row. Yep. So, yeah, it's us, it's Colorado, it's Tampa and Carolina.
That's what I said the other day.
Right. And then actually, I mean, the Penguins are close, but they've got 3 more games. The Rangers are down there, but they've got.
How did we had so many games in hand on Tampa? Did we zip like a? I don't understand how we get, how Colorado has 3 games in hand on us. Where did all those games come in?
I don't know. I mean, let me look at see their schedule.
So did you know that
they had 5 games? They had 5 days off. They played Saturday, January 22nd, and they didn't play again until Thursday, January 27th. And at the same, so they only had those couple of games, and then we had like back to back. Didn't we just have a back to back not that long ago? So I think we kind of made that up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. Well, that's what we got, is we've got the same amount of games as them. And then the Maple Leafs.
Listen, the Kraken have been on a roll ever since they beat us.
Is that right?
They play the Rangers today at 1 o'clock.
They're still in the basement, though. I'm looking at
All
them
right.
now.
The Sharks coming off the loss. The
Right.
way they lost last night was probably heartbreaking to them, but
Yeah.
they play the Hurricanes tonight.
Right.
5. And I'm looking for, the Sabres are at Colorado.
Okay. Yeah, that's not likely. Yeah,
So,
Sabres are not. Oh, well. Well,
you never know.
no, you never know. But it's like we said, it's going to be a dogfight to the end. And looking at the standings there, I mean, it's not overly concerning if we only get a point in New York, because they're not quite up there with us. It's close.
Listen, we're only 45 games into the season, so looking at the standings is fun, but it doesn't mean anything.
No, but the head-to-heads is what I'm getting at. I'm talking about, at the end of the season, you know what I mean? When it comes time for playoff seedings, that 1 point, 2 points against, the Rangers, Carolina, Tampa, those are going to make the difference between, where a game 7 would be and where the series starts off, so that's
we got to win those games against those teams.
Right.
Got to have the season, series lead over Tampa and Carolina. So when it comes down to it, hopefully we go into the playoffs earning that top spot. But if it comes down to a tiebreaker,
so be it.
But you see it at 20. What do you say? 25-3 or 23-3?
Oh, at home?
Yeah,
I think it's 25. It doesn't give me the breakdown here. Let me see. No, it's not.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We know how good we are at home. So
right.
that could be the determining factor.
Yep.
Obviously, you got to win games on the road, but let's just say, we win all our home games and we have home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. We win the cup.
Yeah. No, and that's what I've been saying. People are saying, we're still, barely, just 500 on the road. I'm like, well, if we're unbeatable at home, you know what I mean? Just that by the math, that's it, and obviously teams will come in the playoffs trying to steal a game and everything like that. And, it just depends on who we're going to play.
And they will.
Yeah.
Let's face it. As much as we're, enjoying this fantastic record,
right?
Eventually, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. Maybe a 2-1 game, or some close game, or some game in overtime. And
right. If it's stopped now,
there's no shootout in the playoffs.
If the season stopped now, and we were in the playoffs started, let's see, 53, 57. We would have a series against the Bruins. If the season stopped now, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The Capitals have 57 points, and then the 8 teams are done.
I still think we're going to get Toronto. I don't know why I think that, but I think we're going to get Toronto in the first round.
Well, the only way that's really going to happen is if the Lightning win the division.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because then it would be 2 versus 3. I believe. Okay. But anyway, if it started now, we'd have a series against the Bruins.
Okay.
I'm good. I tell you what, if we lose a series to the Bruins, I'm deleting my Twitter account. You won't ever see me again until next year. There's no way I can handle that. There's no way I can handle Panthers Twitter if we lost the series to the Bruins.
So I'm gonna end my thoughts and whatever for this video with this thing. you're Joel Quenneville
Mm.
and you're watching what's going on,
Mm.
it's got to be ripping
Mm.
his heart out, man.
Mm. Mm.
Don't you think?
Mm. Well, that depends on if they made a side deal to still pay him. That, you know.
It ain't about it ain't
I know.
it ain't
I
about
know.
the money. The guy's,
I'm
got
trying to
all the
give
money
you.
he needs for the
Yeah.
rest of his life.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just that he's not like part of this.
right.
It's happening, and he's not coaching this team.
Right. Right.
I mean, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, no, it's an unfortunate, it's just one of those things where, oh man,
Sucks, right?
it's one of those things where there's, everybody's got a different version of the truth, and the version that becomes popular opinion is the one that ends up, just this. I guess the point is in this, the way pick a subject. It doesn't matter what subject it is. The way that society is now, there's you either believe this happened or you're an awful, horrible, terrible, disgusting person. There's
Listen,
no gray. There's nothing in between. So if somebody is accused of doing something and you say, well, maybe I don't know, you get killed. And then if you're a professional sports, if you're an organization or a corporation or whatever, more times than not, you're going to end up, taking the road where, you'd rather throw somebody else under the bus than, than
I just wonder if, if secretly or whatever, he's in, either communication or he occasionally stops in and, sees the boys. I don't know.
Right.
I just can't believe that he's, just sitting on his couch watching the games and.
Right. No, I know.
I don't know. It's just,
I get it.
It's a shame. Brunette's getting the job done, and it's really not maybe so much that he's getting the job done. It's the players are getting the job done for him.
Right.
So the fact that, that he still has the room and the players seem to really like him and they're playing their hearts out every game. We've only had a few, really, we've had it like what? We've lost 9 games. So let's just say 5 of them, 6 of them, we were clunkers where we really weren't in other than that, and then, what do we got? We got 5 overtime losses. So 9 and 5 is 14 games.
Right.
I'd say maybe 6 of those games, we really weren't in it. Every other game, we were in it. So that's the difference between this team and past year teams where, we've pretty much been in every game,
right?
All year.
Yeah, there's only been a couple.
That's all I got today.
Yep. All right, guys.
I gotta get back into my warm apartment.
Yeah, in your warm apartment. All right, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. We will be back obviously Tuesday morning, then Wednesday morning. It is just about 11 now. Is that 11? It's something close to 11. AFC Championship game is at 3:00 this afternoon.
Who's playing?
Who the hell is playing? It's Cincinnati and
Cincinnati
Kansas City. And Kansas
and
City. Kansas City.
Oh yeah. So I gotta root for Cincinnati.
Yeah, same here. I can't stand.
Gotta root for because they've never won squat.
No, exactly.
I know how long they've been around. And
exactly. That's exactly the same thing Kyle's doing. He says screw Kansas City. Let the Bengals win something finally. So,
yeah.
All right, guys. Appreciate all the support. We will see you again in the next one.